So you're the new blood, eh? Stand at ease, conscripts. I'm Captain Leon Von Gritt. That's captain to you lot. I said stand at ease. I'm not your bloody commissar. I don't give a damn about parading straight backs today. Just about knowing that you conscripts know your shit before you... Don't touch that, conscript. He'll get you killed. And worse, I'll have the embarrassment of knowing you were joining my mechanized infantry. Ugh, by the Emperor's golden bollocks, I swear we're done for. Fine. I'll go with the likely assumption that you know precisely nothing, and shall educate your sorry asses myself. Follow me. You lot find yourselves stood in the vehicle bays, your new favourite place while under my command, due to being the only place where you're less likely to get your ears chewed off by a tech priest for making repairs. And here, conscripts, is our first stop. Meet 0427-941-30XX-CHXXX, the Chimera, the standard armoured personnel carrier of the entire Imperial Guard, and your new best friend. She weighs 38 tons and is beautifully wrapped in armour plating, averaging at nearly 4 inches thick. Now, don't let her bulk fool you, conscripts. With Vulcanor 16 twin-coupled multi-burn Prometheum guzzling engines powering her tracks, she can hit just over 50 kilometres an hour off-road, going up to about 70 kilometres an hour on a good surface. She's also amphibious. Be the enemy in swamplands, marshes, cross rivers, the Chimera will reach them. Most have tracks like this one here, but there are some out there moving on heavy-duty wheels instead. Now around the back here, this ramp is where you lot will be getting in and out. Remember that she'll be the one providing you gentle, loving care. The type that until now you thought only a mother could give, as she tenderly delivers you right into the mouth of hell itself. Alongside the crew, that being the commander, the driver, and the gunner, she can hold up to 12 guardsmen, or even about 4 ogren. Smelly bastards though, so leave them to it. Now, since, like any mother with a brain cell between her ears, she knows that her precious kids will excel at getting themselves killed. So, as you can see up top there, she comes packing a variety of different armaments to help keep you sorry lot alive just that bit longer. Maybe long enough to be thought of as an armoured fist, who knows? Now that particular piece you're eyeing up there is a heavy bolter. Not the most typical turret weapon for the Chimera, but common enough, and by the Emperor, will she blow through Xenos with this bad boy. More often than not, she'll have a, that Chimera over there, across the way. Yeah, she's packing a multi-laser, typically the one you'll see the most. Also a bloody fine example of how to rip enemy infantry to shreds. With all her armaments combined, she's considered Mars pattern, whereas that Chimera over there on the other way has a heavy flamer up top. You'll often find chimeras like her rolling through entrenchments and whatnot, flushing scum out of the bunkers. A beautiful thing. While this armament may be the first asset you spot, again, like a mother with a brain cell, she comes packing spares. If you come round the front here, built into the hull, you'll see another heavy bolter, perfectly suited for clearing the way for her to advance and get you sorry lot where you need to be on time. Like the turret, this too can be swapped out for a heavy flamer, and like the turreted version, ideal for persuading enemies in hiding to move and to die. I mean, typically those who don't move out of the way of nearly 40 tons of armoured tracks like her will still lose that argument, but no such thing as too much of a good thing, eh? Now, sharing is caring, as any decent mother with that aforementioned brain cell will tell you. The Chimera is no different. While she will be laying down most of the firepower, she will offer you a chance to share in glorious combat while in the relative safety of her belly. I'm sure you spotted them, the lasgun arrays lining her sides up there. 6 in all, 3 on each side. This allows you to assist your dear mother in taking out the trash while she makes headway. And not all mothers are this generous. Some would, instead of lasgun arrays, be using the space to store fuel or communications equipment and whatnot, so be thankful. Go on, conscripts, say thank you. Now, there isn't one on this particular Chimera, but lying in the top hatch here, on a pivot ring, you can often find a pintle-mounted heavy stubber, or storm bolter. that the commander can use to lay down more anti-infantry firepower. And as well as that, giving that precious anti-armor capability, you can find Chimeras packing a hunter-killer missile. A single one. May not sound like much, but where there is one Chimera with an HK, there's usually 1,000 others not far away. On top of weaponry, she can also be equipped with smoke launchers to provide cover, searchlights to pinpoint enemies in the dark, and, like that Chimera over there with a heavy flamer, a dozer blade mounted on the front to better get through rough terrain and obstacles and whatnot. Now, weapons and equipment aside, even at her base level, this scout is so reliable that her chassis has played host to many variants, but all still possess the same troop transport capability. There's the Chimadon, which is like the Chimera dressed up as a tank. She's equipped with either a Conqueror cannon or an actual battle cannon, though she can only just manage that level of recoil, and even then, not for long. The Chimera, there's one over there. See how it swapped out the top turret for missile racks? That's well suited to take down fortified enemies. Then there's the Chimerax, equipped with turret-mounted, quad-linked autocannons. It was originally conceived as a rudimentary anti-air unit, but it was nid shit, frankly. I find those autocannons were best aimed at things on the ground, yeah? As well as the simple variants, you've got derivatives of the Chimera, but have forsaken their capacity to carry troops and instead carry powerful armaments. Such as, instead of using a Chimerax for anti-air, we should always rely on the Hydra. She packs twin-linked Hydra autocannons that fire explosive flak rounds, and at such a rate of fire it'd make you blush, conscripts. She tears aircraft out of the sky faster than an orc would tear your arms off. You've got dedicated artillery units, like the Basilisk, carrying the Earthshaker cannon that fires explosive, illumination, or smoke rounds among others, measuring at 138 caliber from 15 kilometers away. The Colossus, armed with the Colossus Siege mortar that launches specialized high concussion rounds designed to create the most destructive shockwave possible. Another beautiful thing. And the Griffin with its heavy mortar cannon, initially not as impressive as the prior two, sure. In fact, here's one now. Look at that, see? Not as beefy, but it makes up for that in accuracy and pure versatility. It can launch explosive rounds, inferno rounds, frag rounds, melter, siege, smoke, illumination, you name it, that thing can launch it. There's the Manticore, which is a dedicated Storm Eagle rocket launching vehicle. They're powerful, though they're also an older model. And they're machine spirits. They're noble, don't get me wrong, but age hasn't done them a kindness. Oh, on the subject of missiles, there's the Deathstrike missile launcher. Now that missile is a monster. A weapon of mass destruction that can, with one missile, wipe out an army. And I once witnessed over a dozen be fired. The Emperor was truly with us that day, conscripts. Now, a personal favourite of mine, truly a beauty, is the Hellhound. A vehicle dedicated to pure torrential gouts of fire. And I don't mean simply heavy flamers like on the Chimera, no. I'm talking the Inferno cannon. It's bigger, badder, and will make you bloody weep when you see it. But that ain't all. If not the Inferno cannon, it can pack a chem cannon. Now trust me, any heretic put before that piece of divine justice quickly sees the error of their unholy ways. And I would of course be remiss if I did not give mention to the Trojan Logistical Support Vehicle. They don't pack much firepower, but they get supplies where they need to be, and without them, we'd grind to a halt. Time for your drills, conscripts. Now remember, you may still know bugger all, but at least now you can say you know something about the Chimera and some of her variants. Your new best friend. Now get out of here. Dismissed.